all the students and all ladies and gentlemen who are interested in this academic seminar. Well, when we're talking about academic seminar, I guess that everyone knows that it is one of a custom, it is one of the procedure in a way in order to gain or in order to proceed to the what we call the graduation of the postgraduate degrees. Because just by doing all the coursework or the classwork is not something what we call a graduate school. That we do in the sort of a bachelor degree or graduate school, kind of a graduate level. But when you go to the postgraduate level, we need more advanced, we need a more wider way of thinking. If we compare bachelor in a way that it's just laying the foundation, but when we go to the postgraduate, we are thinking about something. We need to come out with the what we call the innovation. We need to come out with the new knowledge. We need to come out with the new solutions. And especially these 2 years, we have been really suffering by this pandemic, global pandemic called COVID-19. And then one of the main problem at this time, in this time of the world, is that how we deal with this COVID-19 pandemic. Of course, many of us may look at the COVID-19 from only a biological sort of aspect, or even a chemical aspect, or even a kind of a health problem. But however, if we talk about the Buddhism, if we look from the Buddhist eyeglass, then you will see that in order to become a human, we need to have a two part, or the two different sectors. That is a rupa, that is a matter, the material, and then another is a mind, a 2M. So in a way that the Buddhist approach is that if we get physically sick, but our mind is very strong, our mind is in a way that able to see through it, we can see that the severe of the health may be not that severe as we think. It could be easily healed. Whereas if our mind is sick, of course, our physical body get sick even more. So the most important message from the Buddhism is that Buddhism, all the teaching of the Buddhism is compared to what he calls medicine. Buddha himself is compared with what he calls a physician or the doctor. And as a doctor, we all know that for any symptom of disease, they might have a varieties of medicines, varieties of medications, different way of healing. But if the doctor really know the symptom, the doctor can really prescribe the right dose of medicine, the right kind of medicine, the right kind of the medications which will quickly heal the disease. Therefore, from Buddhist point of view, if you look at the Milinda Panha in one of the texts, which was supposed to be, I guess, was written around the beginning of the century, and in the Milinda Panha, the Venerable Nagasena and the King Milinda, they were discussing on so many things. And one of the questions the King Milinda asked is that in Buddhism, they used to say that Buddha is like a doctor, physician, and Dhamma is like a medicine. Now, what do you mean by that? So the Pali goes that ye keche osadha loke vijanti vividha bahu dhammo sa dhammang natti etang pivattha bhikkhavo, which simply can be translated as whatever medicines are found in the world, many and varied, none are equal to the Dhamma. Drink of these monks, and having drunk the medicine of the Dhamma, you will be untouched by the age and death, having medicated having mediated and seen, you'll be healed by causing to cling. So from this very phrase, what we call a Bhaisajya Guru, the idea of a Bhaisajya Guru, the Buddha as a doctor, it appeared in the Mahayana Buddhism. And then you'll see that there are so many forms of even the bodhisattvas talking about the idea of even the Kuan Im or the canon or the Avalokitesvara is also a form, kind of incarnations of the Bhaisajya Guru, so who healed the world. But the healing of the world in Buddhist point of view is really talking about the mental healing, because all kind of disease, the source or the founded in the mind. It's a simple example is that if you get a headache, for example, from any reason, any causes, but if you are able to, really calm your mind down and sit down quietly, instead of taking any paracetamol, of course, the headache maybe, or I believe that it can be healed even without the medications. Because once your mind is released, once you are distressed, the cause of the headache is hit. We hit it at the ground, the foundation of the cause of the disease itself. So therefore, this is the whole idea of the what you call it Dhamma medicine or Dhamma Osot. So we take Dhamma, which are numerically we say that 84,000 of teachings. All those teachings are prescriptions. Prescriptions for what? Prescriptions in order to cure what you call is the suffering. Of course, it is a physical suffering, but as well as we are talking about the more severe suffering which is caused by our mind. So therefore, Buddhism is a really kind of a medicines, the medicine which can cure our mind. That is all about Dhamma Osot, all about the Dhamma medicines. As I said, then the whole idea of the Dhamma as a medicine has been even grown, has been even cultivated, even developed as the Bhaisajya Guru, the Buddha himself, or even the Bodhisattva. So this is we are looking from all the Buddhist iconographical development when we can see that this very idea of a Dhamma medicines, the what you call is Dhamma as a medicine, is a very strong message which has been really carried on by all Buddhists in order to cure the world. And in this time of the year, in this time of the COVID pandemic, and we have to really come back and think, it is not only the vaccinations, it is not only kind of, we are talking about the different kind of vaccine which can prevent us from the severity of this COVID. But if we look at the Buddhist teaching, then we'll see that it is more than that, is that how do we take care of our mind? So in order to take care of our mind, we have to vaccinate the mind itself. It is not only the vaccinations of the medications, but the true vaccinations, the really holistic vaccination would be vaccination in our mind. And what are those vaccines? Of course, they are, if we look at it, there are 84,000 of the vaccinations. Causing us a more problem, and we have to be clever enough to find and clever enough to really diagnose the symptom and then use that particular medications, and that can be healed. So in this time of a crisis, that's why we have to bring
Recording
ourselves.
in progress.
We have to bring ourselves in order to look within ourselves and then see what can we do. The simple teaching we could think at the moment would be, out of 84,000 teachings, if you really want a kind of what you call is the general medication, just like a paracetamol, I guess one of the teaching which come to my mind at the moment is that the Buddha talked about the two teachings, two doctrines, two dhammas, which he says, or the Buddha says that the Dhamma which can really protect the world from all those kind of a crisis, protect the world from all those unsafety environment, unsafety sort of atmosphere at the moment. So what are those two teachings or two dhammas, two medications given by the Buddha? The first thing is the hiri. The hiri, it means that it is a kind of a self, what do you call it, innate shame, which means that if you want to do anything, if you want to think anything, if you want to say anything, you have to be really come back to your own mind and says that this will bring me more suffering, this will cause me more unsafety. So if you realize that, then you wouldn't, really commit any kind of a mistake, any kind of a communication, any kind of the behavior which will cause you a suffering, because you are afraid that the outcome will really devastate it for yourself. So that is a real way of keeping your safety, yourself as well as the world. But however, the world or society is only arise because there is another human being. There is another persons who could be our relatives, who could be our somebodies, or who could be, a single individual of this world. So in a way that we are surviving, we are living in this world in that relativity sense, because I occurred because there is a you. So without you, there is no relevancy of I. Without I, there is no relevancy of you. Therefore, the whole idea of Buddhism is that we have to live in society with others. This world is not our world, or not my world. This world is somewhere we are the part and parcel of the whole scenario, or whole world. So that's why we have to really think of the another Dhamma to secure the world, or to be safe from all this crisis, is that Ottappa. Ottappa means that a kind of a sense that if you want to think, do, speak anything, but you are afraid that it will hurt someone else, it will cause some kind of a trouble and suffering to others. Because if you are the source of a trouble and a problem for others, the result will come back to yourself again. So it's kind of a self-consciousness and other consciousness. Hiri as a self-consciousness, and others as a social consciousness or other consciousness. Or even take it as a hiri as a self-responsibility, and whereas ottappa as a other responsibility or social responsibility. These two teachings, the Dhamma, will of course secure the world, as Buddha has said 2,500 years ago. So that's why in the Milindapanna, Venerable Nagasena explain this Dhamma to the King Milinda, that please, there are varieties of medications, but the main idea is that you have to take medication, you have to take medicine, drink medicine, then you can cure the main problem of an age old. We can cure from the death even. So in a way that if you really want to cure the permanent, sustainable treatment, then you have to drink, you have to consume Dhamma medicine. So that's how the message at the moment is very important. If you know that how to communicate this message to the world, it is not that we are not saying that you have to become Buddhist. We are not saying that this is a perfect, but this is a very common sense, in a way that every single human being in every society, in every country, can be saved and can be, get away from this bad result of this crisis and this pandemic. So I hope that with this kind of discussions and the sharing of the knowledge in this academic seminar will bring out this kind of a nice and a very good outcome, which can apply into the society, which can really share to the world, and then we can help to protect the world. We can help protect the people to get away from all this kind of a global crisis. So with this, a few words, I proclaim that let this seminar be opened and wish all of you the success with the deliberations of your papers and your discussions ด้วยคำภาษาอังกฤษที่ได้พูดไปนี้ขอถือเป็นสัญญาณว่าขอเปิดการประชุมวิชาการนานาชาติและระดับชาติในครั้งนี้ของบัณฑิตวิทยาลัยมหาวิทยาลัยมหามกุฏราชวิทยาลัยขอให้ผู้เสนอวิชาการต่างๆขอให้ผู้เสนอทั้งในระดับประเทศและนานาประเทศนั้นสามารถที่จะน้อมนำเอาคำสั่งสอนของพุทธศาสนาที่สิ่งที่เรียกว่าอากาลิโกสิ่งที่เรียกว่าเป็นธรรมโอสถนั้น